Greetings, one and all, and welcome to episode number 50. We made it to 50 episodes already, and I'd like to welcome all of my favorite lowlife scumbags, hoodlums, cheats, hustlers, fienders, degenerates. You're all back for season 2, episode number 17. I want to wish everybody a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas on this beautiful Christmas Eve. Forgive the dog barking in the background. That's a recurring theme with Jay. Anyway, let's get to some numbers, okay? We got unprecedented number of picks coming for you this week. Another solid week last week. I mean, what can I say? That's that's 3 straight huge weeks. Not just good weeks, but huge weeks after that losing week that we had last month, which was only our second losing week of the year, right? That's it. We still only had 2 losing weeks. Well, last week we did it again, okay? I'm going to try to make sense of these numbers here. Sorry about that. Those are my notes there. But there we go. Okay, last week, all right, NFL 10-5. Now, the NFL was crazy with all the COVID-related craziness and the reschedulings and 2 games on Monday, 2 games on Tuesday, and numbers bouncing, moving all over the place. Still managed to go 10-5, right? I did change one pick, but kind of had to because the line moved 7 points. So it is what it is, right? I told you last week, and same for this week, if the line moves more than 4 points, you're on your own. Or I should say more than 3 points, you're kind of on your own because COVID right now is just causing havoc with the numbers, but it didn't spoil me. 10-5 last week. That's now 119-69 in the NFL on the season. Yeah, let that sink in for a minute. 63.29%. I mean, why not? Why not shoot for 65 the way I'm going? This is just crazy. 10-3 2 weeks ago, or 10-3 3 weeks ago, 10-3 2 weeks ago, and 10-5 last week. That 30-11. That's over 70% the last 3 weeks. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to continue. We're going to continue to fire. All right. NCAA basketball last week. 12-5. Yes. Huge week in NCAA basketball. 2 games got canceled. But still, 12-5, what are you going to do? That puts me to 47-30 on the season, 61.04% in NCAA basketball. Yep. Bowls. I mean, 14 bowl games and just last week alone. 14, right? Sides and totals, combine them all, 17 wins, 11 losses. Not bad at all. I'll take that. I'll take that going forward. So 17-11, that's 60% in the bowl games. So that's where we're at there. Add it all up, 10-5 NFL, 12-5 NCAA basketball, 17-11 in bowl games. That's 39 wins, 21 losses. Yeah. 39-21 of the 60 picks that I gave you last week, won 39 of them. Overall for the season now, 320 wins, 210 losses, 2 ties. That's over 100. We're 100 games over 500. And we now pass the 60% plateau overall for the season. 60.38%. Yep. Who else is giving you 60% free winners every single week? The answer, nobody, right? Your boy, Stony, right? He's doing it, delivering, okay? So now here we go. Now listen, quick programming note, right? The next video will come out next Friday on New Year's Eve. In the meantime, 21 bowl games. 21 bowl games, yes. Starting tomorrow, going till Friday. So in a 7-day stretch, that's 21 bowl games, average of 3 a day, which is just insane. This is where bowl games start ratcheting up. We got CFB playoff games, right? Now, again, remember, a lot of these games, opt-outs, players are choosing not to play. They want to prepare for the NFL draft. COVID. There's just a lot of drama with these games. So, I mean, the 17-11 start is just, I mean, oh my God, I couldn't even fathom doing that well. But we're going to try to hit them again. So here we go. Starting the 21 bowl games, starting tomorrow on Saturday, 2:30 p.m., the Camellia Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama. Georgia State versus Ball State. Georgia State comes in at 7-5. Ball State's at 6-6. Georgia State's 5.5 point chalk. I'm going to take Georgia State, and I'm going to take over 51. Can't really get into a lot of details, otherwise I'll be here for an hour, right? We can't do an hour-long video. So anyway, first game, Georgia State minus 5.5 and over 51. Game 2, there's no, that's the only game, the only bowl game on Christmas Day is the Camellia Bowl. There's no bowl game on Sunday, and here we go, Monday. 2 games on Monday. Starting at 11 a.m. with the Quick Lane Bowl in Detroit. 8-4 Nevada versus 7-5 Western Michigan, and kind of a de facto home game for the Bronx. They're 6.5 point favorites over Nevada. I like Nevada. I'm going to take that number. Nevada's had a very good season. They got a chance to finish 9-4. We're going to roll with the Wolfpack plus 6.5. The total's 56.5. I'm going to take the under in that one. Nevada's played well this year, and even though Western Michigan is a MAC team, they're not going to light up the scoreboard. Monday, 2:30 p.m., the Military Bowl in Annapolis. Yeah, sorry, I read that one wrong. Monday, 2:30 p.m., the Military Bowl in Annapolis, Maryland, on the U.S. Naval Academy. Boston College, 6-6. They're 3-point chalk over 7-5 East Carolina. I like East Carolina plus the 3, and I like under 52.5. Tuesday, here we go. You ready for this now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bowl games on Tuesday alone. Starting at noon, all these times are Eastern time also. Noon Eastern time, the Birmingham Bowl. Obviously played in Birmingham. Auburn, 6-6 Auburn, 2.5 point favorites over 11-2 and 20th ranked Houston. I like Houston in this, no doubt. Houston outright to win, but take them plus the 2.5 if you don't feel comfortable with taking them on the money line, and also take over 51.5. Tuesday, 3:15 p.m., the First Responder Bowl in Dallas. Air Force, 9-3 Air Force versus 6-6 Louisville. Louisville's 1.5 point favorites. I like Louisville. Air Force could grind it out and really slow it down and cause havoc for Louisville, but I like Louisville in this spot. I'm going to lay the 1.5, and the total's 55.5. I'm going to take the under in that one. So Louisville and the under in the First Responder Bowl on Tuesday. Excuse me, sorry about that. Tuesday, 6:45 p.m., the Liberty Bowl, Memphis. Mississippi State, 7-5 Mississippi State comes in as 9.5 point chalk over 6-6 Texas Tech. I like the Red Raiders. I'm a big fan of Mike Leach, and I like what he's done at Mississippi State, but he's still about a year or two away before he's really going to make a difference. But they got him in a bowl game and got him as practically double-digit chalk. But I'm going to take Texas Tech here, plus 9.5. The total's 58.5. I like the over because, well, it's Mike Leach. Moving on to the Holiday Bowl, 8 p.m. Tuesday night, the Holiday Bowl in Stone Diego, California. 8-4 UCLA versus 9-3 North Carolina State. North Carolina State comes in as 1.5 point chalk. I'm going to take UCLA plus the 1.5, and I'm going to take over 59.5. The final game on Tuesday night, 10:15 p.m., the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. This one will be in Phoenix. West Virginia versus Minnesota. West Virginia's 6-6. Minnesota's 8-4. Minnesota's 4.5 point chalk. I'm going to take the Golden Gophers. The total is low because of what the Gophers and West Virginia represent, but I'm going to stay low and take under 45. So Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Minnesota minus 4.5, under 45. Moving on to Wednesday. 4 bowl games on Wednesday, starting at 11 a.m. The Fenway Bowl in Boston. Wonder where that game is being played. Yeah, Boston. Anyway, Virginia, 6-6. Virginia, 2.5-point favorites over 8-4 SMU. I like SMU in this spot, taking the points plus 2.5, and I like the under 71.5. Yeah, both these teams can score, but 71.5, big number. I'm going to take SMU plus 2.5, under 71.5. Wednesday, 2:15 p.m., the Pinstripe Bowl in the Bronx, New York. Yes, 1 game at Fenway, 1 game at the stadium. Virginia Tech, 6-6 versus 6-6 Maryland. Maryland's 3.5-point favorites. I like Maryland. I'm going to lay the 3.5 in this one and take over 54.5. Wednesday, 5:45 p.m., the Cheez-It Bowl in Orlando. This one's got 9-3 Clemson, 19th ranked 9-3 Clemson. Remember Clemson? Remember how shitty of a year they've had? They wound up 9-3 with a ranking. They ripped off their last 5 games, played really well down the stretch, and they're 1-point favorites over Iowa State, who was the preseason darling to win the Big 12, which, well, didn't matter. They didn't win it, and Oklahoma didn't win it either. But Iowa State, 7-5. I like Clemson here, minus the 1. I'm going to lay the point and take over 44.5 as well, because Clemson's been scoring a lot lately. So, yeah, their defense is world-class, but Clemson might score 35 by themselves. Clemson, minus 1, Iowa State, and over 44.5. Wednesday, 9:15 p.m., the Alamo Bowl in Stone Antonio, Texas. You got 16th ranked Oklahoma, who's 10-2. They're 4.5-point chalk over 14th ranked Oregon, 10-3. This game's just got all kinds of. Both coaches are gone, right? Quarterback Spencer Rattler transferred from Oklahoma, so there's transfers, there's people leaving. Who knows who's going to be on the field right now? Taking Oklahoma. I'm going to lay the 4.5. I don't like the way that Oregon played down the stretch, and that was with Mario Cristobal. Now they don't have Mario Cristobal. I'm going to take the Sooners and lay the 4.5. Moving on, Thursday. We start on Thursday. Thursday has 4 more bowl games on Thursday. The Duke's Mayo Bowl at 11:30 a.m. in Charlotte. Yeah, the Duke's Mayo Bowl, kind of, it got a chuckle out of me. What are you going to do? 6-6 North Carolina's 9-point chalk over 6-6 South Carolina. North Carolina, South Carolina, not really a rivalry, but it kind of ought to should be. Carolina's minus 9. Come on. How can you not take Mac in this spot? Carolina, lay the 9. The total's 58.5. I'm going to go over in that one. Thursday, 3 p.m., right down the street from here, 10 minutes from here, the Music City Bowl in Nashville. 7-5 Tennessee is 5-point chalk over 8-4 Purdue, who surprised a lot of people this year with a very, very good season. But I'm still going to roll with the Vols here. The Vols can put up numbers. They're 5-point chalk over Purdue. Lay the 5. The total 63.5 seems a bit high. I'm going to take the under. So Tennessee minus 5, under 63.5. Thursday at 7 p.m., the Peach Bowl down in Hotlanta. You got 11-2 Pittsburgh versus 10-2 Michigan State. Pickett and Walker have both declared for the draft, or have both declared themselves out to prepare for the draft. So the 2 marquee players, the 2 best players, are not going to be on the field. So what do you get? You get Michigan State as 2.5-point chalk. I'm going to take Michigan State. Take Sparty, lay the 2.5. Total's 56. I'm going to take under 56 in this one. Thursday, the late game, 10:30 p.m., the Las Vegas Bowl down in the desert. 8-4 Wisconsin is 6.5-point chalk over Arizona State, who's 8-4. Also, I like Wisconsin in this one. Wisconsin just, after a absolutely miserable start, finish the season as well as any team in all of college football. Arizona State was up and down. Solid season, 8-4. They could get to 9-4, but they're not, because Wisconsin's going to beat them here. Wisconsin's going to be the team to get to 9-4. Lay the 6.5 with whiskey and take over 42. Moving on to Friday, a week from today. This is New Year's Eve. Now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, and 2 of them are the college football playoff games. So, yeah, I'm giving you all of them now because I'll probably be recording the video next Friday during the college football playoff while it's going on. So I'm going to give you the picks now so you can get them out of the way. Friday, 11 a.m., the Tax Slayer Bowl in Jacksonville. You got 10-3 Wake Forest, who's 17th ranked, and 14.5-point chalk over Rutgers now. They had to step in. It's just been a mess, right? Teams are opting out now because of COVID. So they had to find Rutgers at the last minute. They're 5-7, and Wake is 10-3. I'm going to take Wake. It's a big number, but Rutgers is Rutgers, and they're 5-7. So lay the 14.5. As far as the total goes, at 61.5. Take the over. There won't be much defense played here. Friday at noon in the Sun Bowl in El Paso. 7-5 Washington State is 1-point favorites over the Canes from Miami, who's also 7-5. I like the Canes here. This is a good spot for them. They know it's not that far of a travel for them, and even though they started the season horribly, they found their footing. Now they've got a new coach going forward, but I'm going to take them here in this spot +1 over the Cougars. Miami +1, under 59. Arizona Bowl, Friday, 2 p.m. in Tucson. This one's got Boise State at 7-5, 8.5-point favorites over 8-5 Central Michigan. I like Central Michigan here. Central Michigan finished their season strong. They're 8.5, or +8.5. I'll take those points all day long. So Central Michigan +8.5 over 55. Finally, the last 2 bowl games are the college football playoffs. Friday, 3:30 p.m., the Cotton Bowl in Arlington. This one's got number 1 ranked Alabama, 12-1, 13.5-point favorites over 4th ranked 13-0 Cincinnati, the only undefeated team left. So Cincinnati got their wish. They made the college football playoffs. Be careful what you wish for, right? They're going to plan, they're going to scheme, they're going to throw the kitchen sink at Nick Saban and see what he's ready for. But what did Mike Tyson famously say? Everybody steps into the ring with a plan until they get hit in the mouth. Bama -13.5. Lay 'em. And as far as the total goes, 58.5. I'm going to take the under here. Cincinnati's defense is excellent. Alabama's defense has gotten better. So Bama's going to score 40 or 35. But yeah, I see this one in the 35 to 20, realm, somewhere around there. Bama wins, Bama covers, under. Finally, the last game, Friday at 7:30 p.m., the Orange Bowl in Miami. Number 3 ranked Georgia is 7.5-point favorites over 2nd ranked Michigan. I think this one has the makings of being a really good one. Everybody's just assuming Georgia's going to get into the college football playoff for a rematch with Alabama. Well, I mean, that's what a lot of people want to see because they've pretty much been the 2 best teams all season. But right now, Michigan is playing with a lot of confidence. That win over Ohio State was huge, and they showed that they can do it on offense. Well, these are 2 world-class defenses here. Michigan and Georgia are, 2 of the best defenses you're going to find. And I'm going to take Michigan. I like Michigan in this spot. I like what they've been doing. I like their toughness, and I like the way they've been running the ball. And right now, they're just arrogant enough. And even if they don't win, that 7.5 makes a big difference. Georgia's not going to blow them out. Georgia may win, but I'm going to take the points. Take Michigan plus the 7.5. And as far as that total, it's a little too low at 45.5. I'm going to take the over. So Michigan and the over 45.5. So there you go. There's 21 bowl games I just dropped in your lap. That's a total of 42 picks because I gave you totals in every single game. Kind of crazy, but there's 42 down. Now we move on. But college basketball. College basketball has kind of they're having a rough week with COVID. A lot of games being canceled and postponed. A lot of games for tomorrow, actually, and or for Sunday and Monday. Either way, Saturday, usually on Christmas Day, is the Diamond Head Classic. Those only 4 games that are played. They're the 8 teams that went out to Hawaii to play in Waikiki, and you've got the 7th place matchup, the 5th, the 3rd, and the 1st. So here we go. We'll start with the 7th place matchup, 1:30 p.m. tomorrow, Christmas Day. This is the winner gets 7th place, the loser gets 8th. 10-2 Wyoming is 7.5 point chalk over South Florida, who's 5-6. Wyoming's only 2 losses were to Stanford and Arizona. Right, and even with those, they've won 3 out of 5. Right, they're averaging 77 points a game. South Florida's lost 3 out of 4. They're averaging 56 points a game. They're going to have trouble keeping up. Wyoming's big, they're fast, and they can get it done. I'm going to take Wyoming and lay this 7.5. The total's 121.5. I'm going to take the under there. So Wyoming and the under in Game 1 of the Diamond Head Classic. Game 2, 3:30 p.m., the 5th place game. Hawaii versus Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa's 4-7, and they're 4.5 point chalk over Hawaii, who's 4-5. Both teams have lost. That's why they're playing in the 5th place game. Northern Iowa's lost 2 in a row and 3 out of 4. Hawaii, on the other hand, has lost 4 out of 5, but they are Hawaii and they're at home. I'm going to take the 4.5, and Northern Iowa just hasn't really shown me enough to warrant a road favorite by 4.5 over Hawaii on Christmas Day. So Hawaii plus 4.5 over 139.5. There's your 2 plays for that one. 6:30 p.m., the 3rd place game. 8-5 Liberty versus 10-3 BYU. BYU comes in as 8.5 point favorites. BYU lost to Vandy yesterday, but they've won. But they had won 3 out of 4 before that. Liberty lost to Stanford yesterday and won 3 in a row before that. So BYU, I'm big on BYU. I'm big on the WCC. I've said that a couple times now in my last couple of videos. The WCC is putting together a really, really deep conference. It's going to be more than just 2 teams this year. You know, they could have 3 or 4, and BYU is going to be one of them. So anyway, BYU's tough. They're solid, but Liberty is no slouch. So that's why I'm going to take the points. 8.5 seems like a big number on Christmas Day. I'm going to take the Flames plus 8.5, and I'm going to take over 132.5. And finally, at 8:30 p.m. on Christmas night, the championship game of the Diamond Head Classic. You don't think of them as athletic schools, but it's Stanford and Vandy, the battle of the brainiacs. I'm partial towards Vandy. It's right down the street. I'm partial towards Stanford. I grew up in the Bay. But what are you going to do? Both teams come in at 8-4. Vandy's 2.5 point chalk. Vandy's now lost 2 in a row. But before that, they had won 3 straight. So just scratch that. They lost 2 games in a row. Now they've won 3 straight. Sorry, it's just all this craziness. Anyway, they've lost 2 in a row. Now they've won 3 straight to get them to the championship. Led by Scottie Pippen Jr., Vandy's a tough out, and they're 2.5 point chalk. Stanford, on the other hand, is won 4 out of 5. Their only loss during that stretch was a tough one to Texas. I like Stanford in this spot. I'm going to take the 2.5. I'm also going to take them on the money line, but 2.5 is the safer play. So take Stanford plus 2.5 and over 135.5. So there's your 4 picks for the Diamond Head Classic. Quick refresher: Wyoming and the under, Hawaii and the over, Liberty in the over, and Stanford in the over. There's your 4 picks for Diamond Head Classic basketball on Saturday, on Christmas Day. Now we finally move on to the NFL. I hit last night. I hit hard because anybody that didn't take that 3.5 with the Titans is just a fool. That was easy. I didn't think they were going to win, but 3.5. The 49ers just can't hold on to a lead. Everybody knows that. And the Titans, yeah, they hadn't looked good, but the 49ers are a mess right now. So anyway, I hit that one to start off the week, but that doesn't count in my selections. So here we go. We're going to start on Christmas Day. 11-3 Green Bay at home, 7.5-point favorites over Cleveland. This one's got blowout written all over it. I don't see Cleveland, whether it's Baker Mayfield or not. I just can't see them keeping this one close. They're a COVID case, a COVID disaster right now, and they're expected to go into Lambeau. No, Green Bay wins. Green Bay wins easily. Lay the 7.5. The night game on Christmas night. Arizona at home in the desert, 1-point favorites over Indianapolis. Arizona's 10-4, but they've lost 4 of their last 7. They're not playing well. We all saw it last week. Detroit squashed them. Indianapolis is one of the hottest teams going right now. They're 8-6, and they're playing really well. And you got to ride the hot hand. You ride her till she bucks you. Don't ride at all. Indiana +1 on the road in the desert. Sunday. Now we move on to Sunday. 6-8 Atlanta versus 2-11-1 Detroit in hot Atlanta. I like Detroit in this one. Detroit continues to cover numbers. It's what they do. They may not be the best team in the world. They're certainly not with a record of 2-11-1, but they've been covering and they're playing hard. Again, they're not a very good team, but they play hard, and that's all you can ask for. I'm going to take Detroit plus the 5.5. Baltimore versus Cincinnati, big matchup in the AFC North. Both teams are 8-6. This one's in the Queen City. The Bengals are favored by 3. I like Cincinnati. I'll lay the 3. I'm going to throw this one out there, and you can call me a fool or what. Lamar Jackson, I'm not going to say is done because he's not done, but Lamar Jackson's had a horrible season. Terrible. He's not played well at all this entire season. Healthy or not. Oh, he's been hurt. Even when he's not hurt, he's not playing well, right? He's not playing well at all. Huntley right now has stepped in and has been unbelievable. He's been a revelation for Baltimore. He's playing well, and he's getting more confident every time he plays. So at what point does John Harbaugh have to make that tough decision and bench his MVP even when he's healthy and ride the hotter hand in Tyler Huntley? I don't know. Just a thought, just throwing it out there. In the meantime, Cincinnati -3, that's your winner. Moving on, the Rams versus Minnesota. The Rams are 10-4, Minnesota 7-7. This one is up in Stoneyappolis. The Rams are 3.5-point chalk on the road. And Minnesota right now, they're in trouble. They've got COVID issues. The Rams are starting to get healthy. I'm going to take the I'm going to take the Vikings in this one. They just seem like the right play. It has to be the right play. Now's the time to hang one on the Rams, right? Before everybody gets too excited and they win another game, goes 11-4, and oh my God, LA. No, screw LA. Beat LA. Minnesota in Stoneyappolis gets it done. Outright winner. 3-11 New York Jets at home versus the 2-12 Jacksonville Jaguars. The dog of the year. These two teams. Good Lord. Yeah, I just don't even know what to do. And the spread's a pick 'em. What are you going to do? I'm going to take the Jets because the Jets are at least fighting. The Jags aren't. So take the Jets at a pick 'em because they're at home. Excuse me. Moving on, Philadelphia 7-7 and at home against 4-10 New York Giants. The Giants are just counting the days till the season ends. Philadelphia, I don't know what all the talk is about how they haven't bought into Jalen Hurts and they haven't really given him the reins and says, you're our guy. He should be. He's playing better. Yeah, they're a run-first football team, but he's only had maybe 2 or 3 bad games this year in his first full season as a starter. Hurts is improving. Philadelphia is getting better. I'm going to lay all 10 of them and watch them blow out the Giants to get to 8-7. Moving on, Tampa Bay versus Carolina. Tampa Bay is at Carolina. The Bucks are 10-4. They're coming off that embarrassing shutout loss on Monday night against the Saints, and now they're on a short week, and they've got it. Well, they got to travel to Carolina. It's an hour flight, not even. It's more like a half-hour flight to take on the 5-9 Panthers, who are also counting the days till their season ends. I like the Panthers in this. 10 points, too many points. No way, no how. Tampa Bay, they have too many injuries right now, and they won't be able to rattle off 30 points, not against Carolina's defense. So I'm going to take the Panthers plus the 10. Big game on Sunday for the AFC East. 8-6 Buffalo heads into Foxborough to take on 9-5 New England in what could be a revenge game, or New England is looking to win the season series again from Buffalo like they've done so many times. But I like Buffalo in this spot. I think Buffalo gets their revenge. They're 2-point dogs, so you're going to give us 2 points? Fine, I'll take the Bills. Moving on, the Chargers head south to take on the Houston Texans. Houston's 3-11. The Chargers are 8-6. The Chargers know what they need to do. Another win and pretty much locks them into the playoffs if they're not already. But they're 10-point chalk, which is big to lay on the road. Doesn't matter. Lay them here. No trouble with Houston. 4-10 Chicago has to head up to Seattle to take on 5-9 Seattle. The Seahawks are a mess. The Bears are a mess. Seattle has no business being a 6.5-point favorites. I'm going to take the Bears here in this, plus the 6.5. Pittsburgh heads to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 7. No, that's not right. I wrote that one wrong. The Chiefs right now are the number 1 seed in the AFC, and they're 10-4. Pittsburgh is 7-6-1, and they're holding on for dear life to try to steal a playoff spot. Kansas City is now having their own COVID issues, right? Kelsey and Hill could both be out. What can Mahomes do without those guys? We'll see. We're going to find out. In the meantime, take Pittsburgh plus the 10. Big number. Las Vegas versus Denver down in the desert. The Raiders it's a pick 'em. Both teams come in at 7-7. A loss might doom the loser of this game. Take the Raiders. Denver's a mess. Denver has no quarterback. Denver's a total disaster. Raiders haven't looked good. They haven't played well at all. But they're at home, and this is their chance to go to 8-7. They got a big win last week, and now another one here can really give them a boost if they think they're going to make the playoffs. Sunday night, Dallas versus Washington in Jerry World in Arlington. Dallas is 10-4. Washington 6-8. The Cowboys right now want to keep pace of Arizona and Green Bay in the NFC. They want to keep winning. Dallas has already clinched a playoff spot. Washington right now, there's a good chance that Taylor Heineke is going to come back, or Tyler Heineke. When he comes back, he's going to play. And I like Washington in this spot. I'll take the 10.5. It just seems like the thing to do. Dallas is inspired no confidence, even though I took them last week and I got a cover against the Giants. And finally, the last pick of the week, Monday night, Miami versus New Orleans Saints. In the Bayou, Miami's 2.5-point favorites on the road. Both teams are 7-7. New Orleans is a mess. They're down to their 4th or 5th string quarterback. Miami just keeps winning. Take Miami. Why not? 2.5 is nothing. So just pick the winner. Take Miami, 2.5 points. Before I get on to all that, the Degenerate Special kind of slipped my mind, and with all this craziness that's been going on, we won again last week. That's 6 straight weeks the Degenerate Special is paid off. So if you're looking for the Degenerate Special on Saturday night, that is Stanford versus Vandy in the championship game of the Diamond Head Classic. I already gave it to you. I gave you Stanford in the over. I gave you both picks, but the Degenerate Special is Stanford plus 2.5. We'll try to get that to 7 in a row. So there we go. How you like me now? 15 NFL picks, 21 bowl games with totals. That's 42 college football picks I just gave you, plus the 15 NFL and 4 college basketball games with totals, which gives us 8 picks. Add them all up, and it's 65 picks I just gave you. 65 of them. Think about that. Free 65. All right? 38 wins would be nice. That's what we're shooting for. 38 kind of gets us where we, but anything more than 40 is just, real nice. And the way we've been going, why not? So before I cut out, I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a happy, healthy Christmas with you and yours. Enjoy it. Enjoy time with your family. I'm not with my family. I'll be with my family next week, the first week of the new year. So in the meantime, just remember that if you want to win big, you got to bet big. To me, the action is the juice. There's money on the streets that can't be ignored. And good luck to you. This is Stony Claus. Merry Christmas, y'all.